We have Wade in Louisiana, who's, hang on one second, Wade. I'll get you on here because you had a question specifically for Dr. Josh, and so I appreciate it and want to give you your time. Welcome to the show, Wade.
Why, thank you. Thank you, Matt. And I'll state right now that I am going to request, Matt, that you hang up on me so I can have the T-shirt.
Okay. Should I do it right now, or should I let you?
Hang up on me.
That would be good. And by the way,
I want to talk to.
I'm gonna let you, Wade. I just wanted to comment that you have a wonderful name, Wade, which happens to be my middle name. So now you're on with Dr. Josh.
I did not know that. Okay, Dr. Josh.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Hammurabi.
Yeah.
Okay. I was a teacher for a long time and taught world literature. And the first selection of every semester was the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Mm-hmm.
And so I specifically called to see if you had any more knowledge than I have gleaned from my years of researching, of literature and translation about the Shamhat, the, I guess, temple prostitute who tames Enkidu.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot that I guess could be said about Shamhat, but it's not a specialization that I had. So everybody understands the Epic of Gilgamesh is something that probably formed, early second millennium, but it really didn't come into its full, at least as we know it, until the late second millennium BCE. And it tells the story of Gilgamesh and how Gilgamesh is the mighty king of Uruk, and he's mistreating his people. And so the gods, create Enkidu, who is this sort of wild man that's his equal out in the steppe land. And he's causing a lot of problems for the hunters that are in the area because he's friends with all the animals. And so when they get trapped by the hunters' traps, he sets them free. And so this woman, Shamhat, is brought out as a priestess of the goddess Ishtar to have sexual relations, very clinically there, with Enkidu for 7 days and 7 nights. And that process...
No, I beg to differ. It's 6 days and 7 nights.
Okay. I'm glad that you stepped in to correct me on that. Thank you, Wade.
And 6 days and 7 nights, he lay on her.
Okay. So at any rate,
and then they can smell her on him.
Right. So
they can smell her on him.
Which may not be the kindest way to phrase that, but I want to let Josh finish answering this.
No, but so I guess just
that's what it says.
No, certainly. That's fine. I'm glad that you're looking at it and remember that detail that I missed. Thank you. But the point is that the rationale here is that the storyteller's doing something to try to say something about what it's like, how they considered people that were living out on the periphery, and so what does it mean to be a true human? What does it mean to be the essence of humanity? It's to be civilized, to come into the civilized society. And so that's what Enkidu does. Enkidu is brought in as a man and goes to Uruk, and so the story progresses that way. And Gilgamesh and Enkidu become these great friends and go on these heroic adventures. I don't know what specifically I could say about Shamhat. I mean, Shamhat is cursed by Enkidu later on in life when he's about to die, and he gets scolded for that. And so then he blesses her. But I mean, there's
the woman's fault. It's the woman's fault. Gawain does that too. Sir Gawain and the Great Connect. He curses women too after he fails. But the 6 days and 7 nights is a thematic time frame that goes throughout all of the Epic of Gilgamesh. That's why I insisted on that point.
Can I ask a question?
Gilgamesh falls asleep. Yes.
What's the fucking point?
The fucking point is, I wondered if the master of ancient Sumerian and cuneiform had any more information than I already had
Okay.
about temple prostitution, priestess of Ishtar, and all of the things, the steps that she goes through in order to make Gilgamesh into a civilized man.
Yeah. The problem here, Wade,
is
the problem here, Wade, is that
yes.
I don't see how this is relevant to the atheist experience.
Well, you know what? It's not.
Okay,
But
you ready?
I wanted to
You ready
talk
for your
to him,
T-shirt?
and I don't. Yes.
There you go. There's your T-shirt. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are ways to talk about the Epic of Gilgamesh with respect to religiosity, as was somebody cribbing from somebody? Did somebody copy somebody?
Oh yeah.
And those are all interesting discussions. Yeah. And I like the fact that, hey, we got two people who want to talk about Enkidu. And I'm just sitting here going, what the hell does this have to do with atheism?
Right. I mean, and so to be clear, I'm certainly not the premier expert on Assyriology. I mean, there are, hundreds of Assyriologists that,
How dare you say 7
far.
days and 7 nights when it was clearly 6 days and 7 nights.
Meanwhile,
nobody seems to be pointing out that the 3 days that Jesus was supposedly dead is like a day and a half at best. At least that ties to something modern religious.